Hi, everybody. I am Deepika Sandhu, the CEO of Soul Sparks Press, and I am delighted to welcome Clare Bachman. The billionaire woman is in the house to talk about her new book and all things money. Clare,
Hi,
welcome.
thank you.
The billionaire woman, where did this name even come from? How did you become the billionaire woman?
I work in wealth, obviously, and money, and my obsession with money has literally been my entire life. And people would start calling me. I guess I had this aspiration to become a billionaire, get my jet, build this global business. And people started calling me Billionaire Claire. Nice little rhyme to it. And then actually, you came to me and you said, "Everyone calls you Billionaire Claire." And I said, "Yeah." And you said, "Well, you're the billionaire woman." And I was like, yeah, I guess you're right. And you were like, "You got to write the book."
Guilty as
And no, but
charged.
you're right. And you saw this beautiful elevated version of me that sometimes we don't always see those things, but you saw it, and you in giving that suggestion, although yes, it's great you got to publish the book as well and you got rights to the billionaire woman, of course. Everyone wants it.
Why not?
But but you saw that, and because you see that grand version of all of us, we in turn start to follow that and think, yeah, it's like auto-suggestion, right? And because you suggested it, then we start to think, yeah, she's right. And then we start to step into it. And that book has helped me to step into more and more of that elevated version of myself.
Well, and I think even thinking about being a billionaire is a bit provocative. And then to be a billionaire woman is almost doubly provocative.
Yeah.
And the key isn't that there are gajillions, billions in this case, of dollars in the bank account. It's really not about that, is it?
No, no, it's first of all, money starts from mindset and then goes into all of the technical saving and all of those things. But the billionaire woman is a persona. It is about becoming, yes, the grandest version of yourself, but also the grandest, wealthiest version of yourself. It's about
Yes.
taking, yes, it's about getting the dollars in the bank, but it's also about taking that one little speck of you that is your purpose, that's buried deep in your soul, finding it, bringing it out. And once you have all of those pieces align, the money just starts flowing to you. It's actually a little scary and like freaky in a way, because you don't think to yourself, "Oh, if I find my purpose, what if it doesn't make money?" No. What It's not about what if it doesn't make money. It will make you money if you believe it will. So that's what this is about.
But
This is
let's unpack that for a
yeah.
minute, because a lot of people will say, my purpose is singing, my purpose is acting. And you've been an actor.
Yes, I have.
And we are sitting in Los Angeles today, and there are a lot of people who have come to Los Angeles to become actors. And some make it, some don't. So even though they knew their purpose, they may not have found the celebrity, the wealth, the abundance from it. But what would you say to them as the billionaire woman? How do they get into their billionaire mindset?
I challenge the fact that, is that really what their purpose is? Are they because listen, I owned a flower store, and I'm sitting there in my flower store from 8 to 10 hours a day. I developed an allergy to flowers because obviously I wasn't meant to be in that business. I'm sitting there and I'm watching one of the like TMZ, like the Hollywood what gossip sites or
Right.
whatever. And I'm sitting there watching that. I'm thinking, oh, I could
We call
become an
it the
actor.
news in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Of course, obviously. Everything's in LA. It's all good here. Um, but I started watching that and I started thinking, ooh, maybe that's my path to making a ton of money. Plus, everyone, speaking about provocative, everyone thinks being a celebrity will be this beautiful, amazing, provocative thing. Everyone will know me, and everyone wants that. Well, not everyone, but most people want. I sound like Miranda Priestley from The Devil Wears Prada. Everyone wants this. But um, I challenge whether that really is your purpose, because part of it was mine, but it wasn't the full effect. So my becoming an actor, I have made it? Maybe, if I kept going with it. But then when I became really truthful with all of the facets of my personality from light to dark, I realized that making a ton of money was not necessarily part of my purpose, but a part of my desire. So I think that I would challenge them and say, if we dig a little bit deeper, we might find that it's not actually your purpose.
So when you were the owner of a flower shop, at that moment in time that you went into that business, did you think that was your purpose?
I did.
And yet your purpose can continue to change and evolve, right? As you move.
I knew there was something in there that was just like, it was like, little cracks. Something just got into the crack of my soul and was like, this isn't for you. And then I went to the next thing. But you see, I had the guts to take the next steps and try the next thing. No matter, I did it at any cost, and it didn't matter what kind of risk was involved. I took the step. I allowed myself to go down the path of becoming an actor. I know how to sword fight, fence. I know how to do I did all the things. I can sing. Somebody called me last night a triple threat. Yeah, I can do it all. I was trained to sing in the theater as well. But then something else started to bug me. But when you listen to those little intuitive things coming at you, those little it's like a little piece of sand in your shoe. You're like, oh, there's something in there and I know it's not right. When you listen to those, then you start to unfold more, but you can't be afraid to keep unfolding those things.
So allowing the unfoldment to happen, following the breadcrumbs, which nowadays means something else, but following the little path, right, of what feels right to you. Is that the first step to being the billionaire woman?
100% yes. Yes.
But I do that. Am I going straight to $1 billion?
Yes, if you want to, if that's what the belief is.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
So no, if you don't believe it. Yes, if you believe it. Everything can happen from one breath to the next if you believe it. If you believe that you can become a billionaire in the next year, you will. I know people who did it, especially these days. My goodness, if you look, I read an article the other day about these kids who are making 20, 30 million dollars.
Yeah.
So yes, it can happen, but it has to be in alignment with who you really are and where you really belong.
Right.
Otherwise, I think we're chasing ghosts,
So you're really breaking down what we believe about billionaires, right? Because we've been taught that billionaires are people like Warren Buffett. They've been working all their lives and slowly chipping away at it and eventually amassing their millions and billions of dollars. But we've seen, and you've just alluded to it, that thought process got really challenged in the late 90s, early 2000s with the dot-com boom and all these young tech execs coming up and making millions by IPOing companies. And now here you are saying, no, anybody can be a billionaire woman. You just have to be in the mindset of being that woman.
Yeah, exactly.
So what are the top 3 mindset shifts that you need to make to become the billionaire woman?
First of all, again, I would challenge that all of those let's take any of the top billionaires, which is the Forbes billionaire list, the richest people in the world just came out. And I'm not talking about people who took over companies from parents. I'm talking about the parents who made those companies. Those people, I would tell you, didn't feel like they were working. When I was talking to my crew yesterday. We have a beautiful mansion that we rented here in Beverly Hills. And I said, it doesn't really feel like work, does it? You almost kind of feel a little bit bad because you're like, oh my gosh, I get paid to do this. This is really cool. So I would say, yes, there are days where you feel like, I don't want to use the word grinding it out, but you might feel like, oh my gosh, okay, I'm grinding here. But I would say that those people are having fun. So I think number one, if you're not having fun and enjoying it, honestly, I think it's gonna suck. For lack of a better term, it's not gonna be fun for you.
Right.
I think also don't be afraid of money. Money is a beautiful tool. One of my greatest love affairs, other than my husband, of course, is with money.
Yeah.
And understanding money and feeling really good about it. And a lot of people are in so much debt, and they just it just makes them close up. If you can start to follow people who can teach you the energetics of money, that will be a total game changer. And then I think lastly, I think really that self-discovery is the first. I don't think that the billionaires of are like the people ahead of us, the who are a little bit older than us. I don't think they necessarily knew that they were finding purpose. Now we have that language in our vocabulary. I don't think that they did, but I think it just was there for them, and they just followed that path. And I don't necessarily think it was super easy for them, but I think it was easier than we think it was. But we have been told you got to grind it out. You got to work. You got to work 100 hours a week. Absolutely not. You don't. Especially if you're working with that alignment of who you truly are and where you belong.
Let's talk about the energetics of money.
Yes. I love it.
What does it mean? And what is your personal energy with money?
So people have these paradigms with money. And paradigm is a belief basically that you had from the past. For example, our parents taught us you have to get rid of your mortgage. Pay your mortgage down, pay your mortgage down. Cool. So you pay your mortgage down. Okay, so I ask people, would you rather be completely debt-free and have no money in your portfolio, or would you rather have $1 million of debt but $1 million in your portfolio? They're like, oh, $1 million. Why? Oh, because I can just pay it down anytime I want. Great. So that's a paradigm that we've been taught basically from our ancestors, is that don't have any debt. But they're also coming from the war and all of those harder times, right? So energetics of money is exactly that, is what do you believe about money? If you believe, we've talked about taxes, we've talked about, having I got a large tax bill, and even now, even with all the work I've done on myself, I get a large tax bill and I'm like, oh, this little suffocation happens. However, I think to myself, if I don't have a tax problem, I have a problem. So there's a little paradigm shift right there. So if I don't have a tax problem and I'm not paying any tax, I'm getting a refund. Now, you can get a refund if you have some good wealth strategies. That's fine. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just your basic level stuff here. If I'm getting a refund, maybe there's a problem. I'm not making enough money where I'm starting to owe tax, or I'm starting to seek out someone like me to help me make sure I don't pay $500,000 in taxes.
So you get excited to pay your taxes.
Exactly.
And that's the energetics of money.
Or you get excited to find someone who can make sure you don't.
I like that. I like that. Last night we had an event here in Los Angeles at Barnes & Noble, and we had a beautiful surprise guest with Ken Honda.
Yes.
And he wrote the book Happy Money.
Yes.
And he talks a lot about the energetics of money as well, and how to arigato your money, right?
Money.
How to feel good about your money as you're spending it, when it goes and coming back into your life. When we think of, and I asked him this question last night, and I want to ask it to you too. When we think of our larger geopolitical environment right now, things are very interesting, and we're getting a lot of inundation of news and information and policies and everything that is happening about things that are about to go not so well with money. How do you tell people, how does the billionaire woman want people to think about these macro geopolitical topics and the relationship with their own money?
I love this question. I love it. And I didn't hear Ken's answer, by the way, so I can't replicate. This is how I talk to my clients about this. Good. I welcome the ups and downs in the market. When COVID hit us in March of 2020, we had a significant drop in the markets. Now, I no longer manage money directly, but I still guide people on how they manage their own money. I provide a model portfolio, so I know what's going on in a good handful of people's portfolios, including my own. And when they come to me with this kind of thing, I say, oh, good, I hope it drops further. And they think I'm crazy. And I kind of am, in a way, because who says that? But in that March of 2020 drop, my clients by the end of the year made like 25-30% rate of return. Why? For me, the stock market is going to move one of three ways: up, down, or sideways. Same with this situation that we have going on with the states and the tariffs and all the things. Okay, cool. It's going to move one of three ways: up, down, or sideways. Are we positioned to capitalize no matter which way it goes? If it goes sideways, it's pretty boring. There's not much we can do. Let it go. If it goes down, can we capitalize? Are you already in a position to capitalize on if it goes down? If it goes up, great. You make a nice rate of return. Good for you. Some of my clients made 35% last year. It was on another level. If it goes down, this is when people start to, that old paradigm comes in. Oh, I'm going to lose everything. Are you? Or do you only lose everything when you sell? Can we position you so you can completely capitalize? Do you know how many people became multi-million or billionaires from the 2008 crash?
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. So if you can change the way you see things, to quote Wayne Dyer, the things you see change.
Yes. Right? And same is true with money.
Yeah.
So you can choose to see money differently, and the money will change.
If you can take those negative situations and start to love them. Same went with when I became a financial advisor in the beginning. We had to do a lot of prospecting. It was awful. It was awful.
That
I had
means
to make
cold calling, right?
3,500 cold calls a week.
Oh, man.
And then when I joined my next firm, I told all of the rookies that. And they were like, oh my gosh, how could you do that? That's awful. The fact was, times had changed and nobody was answering cold calls anymore. But what I did was I made myself love prospecting and love talking to people. And now I live in, as you know, Mexico in the wintertime. And I'm walking down the street with my little guy and I run across two people who are holding hands. I said, look at you two are like, they're, retired. You two are, look at you. You're lovebirds. I love this so much. And they said, thank you. And they asked me, how can you be here for 3 months? Oh, we work, out of our computers and so on. And I told them, they asked me what I did. And I said, part of what I do is I run an alternative asset fund. So, they said to me, what can I invest? So I didn't even, if you start to embrace that negative, embrace market drops, things like it changes the way, your response that you put out, it will change the way things come at you. Now, all of a sudden the prospect comes to me and they say, can I invest in your fund? How do I get in? Can I get access to it? So it's totally changed because I didn't push prospecting away. I don't push away a drop in the market. I'm thinking, okay, cool, bring it. How can I make this a win? There's always a way to win. So as long as you can find that way to win, and this is Billionaire Woman 101. If you can find a way to win,
Yeah.
you will win.
I love that.
So good.
I love that. What's the last thing you want people to know about Billionaire Woman before we end today?
First of all, I think that this book is a complete game changer if you're ready for it. With any information that you can get in the world, you can read 10,000 books. And as long as, if you're not going to do anything with it, it doesn't matter. You have to be willing and ready. Same with a financial plan or wanting to be rich. If you're not really ready and you're not really wanting it, people will tell me, I want it, I want it, I want it. But then all of a sudden, here they are out there spending, making more consumer debt for themselves and not scaling their business and increasing their income. So my last tidbit for you is if you want it and you believe it, trust me, it will come to you.
I love it.
Very easily.
I love it, love it, love it. The Billionaire Woman. Claire, thank you for being with us
Thank
today.
you for having me.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for watching. And if you're ready to bring your sweepingly inspirational story to life, join us at Soul Sparks Press.